I'm Dr. Ravikant. Students, I'm just continuing my factorial designing from here. Now we are going to see the example 3, and here you can see the effect of the drug and lubricant concentrations on drug dissolution. Here in this table, I have mentioned the clear number of uh, runs and how we have taken these combinations and their corresponding response. If you see here in the first run, one low drug and low lubricant concentration and concentrations are taken, and the corresponding drug release is 60%. If you perform the run 2 with the notation A, say for example, high drug, high low lubricant concentration, and their corresponding release is 90%. With the run 3, we have received 40 percentage of the drug release. Here in this particular case, we have taken the low drug concentration and high lubricant concentration. And with the AB, you can see high drug and low lubricant, high drug and high lubricant concentrations are taken, and the corresponding response is 80%. From this runs, you can understand that the drug is showing a very significant effect, and the lubricant has its effect on the drug dissolution. It is decreasing the drug dissolution rate. So that is very clear from the values. But if you wanted to see clearly how the drug is showing its effect on the drug dissolution, let us dive into depth. See here in this particular case, if you wanted to see the effect of the drug alone, we have to consider the highest concentrations of the highest concentrations uh, of the drug where we have taken in the particular design. So, for example, if you take this second run, we have taken highest concentration of the drug. If you take the fourth run, we have taken highest concentration of the drug. So always, in order to see the effect of a particular factor, we have to subtract the low level from the high level. So as we wanted to see the effect of the drug here, we are just the subtracting the response of response when we have taken low level of drug concentrations. So here in this particular case, in this particular equation, the first portion, if you see A plus AB, in the A we have taken high level of drug, in the AB we have taken the high level of drug. So we consider these two as high levels. So if you see run 1 and B, here we have taken the low drugs. So we are just going to subtract responses of responses of the runs that are corresponding of low drugs from from the runs that are corresponding to the high drug levels. So this is very obvious from the equation. If you see it very clearly, as I told you, this portion corresponds to high level, and this particular portion 1 minus b corresponds to low level. uh, A plus AB is a high level. So, you just see here, I have substituted the corresponding values given here. A corresponds to 90%, and AB corresponds to 80%, and 1 corresponds to 60, and B corresponds to 40. I subtracted and I found that the effect of the drug to be 35%. That means that the drug is contributed for 35 percentage of the drug release. Say for example, if you let us assume that we have performed only these two runs. In that case, you will end up with 30% of drug effect. You will see only 30% of effect, because here we have taken low drug and low lubricant concentration. Here we have taken high drug and low lubricant concentration. So obviously, when we see these two experiments, we see that okay, high drug concentration. If we increase the drug concentration from the low level to high level, we feel that there is a 30% of increase in the dissolution. Okay, 90 minus 60 means 30. So we feel that okay, as we go from low level to high level, the corresponding increase of the drug dissolution is that just 30%. But here, if you consider this particular formula, and if you perform these experiments, you can see there is a 35% effect. Okay, that is because you will be using all available data in order to understand the effect. In the formulation, you will be having the drug and lubricant, and they will be having the effect of one on another. So obviously you have to consider all of the data in order to clearly distinguish the effect of factor that you are looking for. That is what we have seen here. I just to explain you another situation. Here, a microbiologist is interested in the effect of culture mediums at two levels: medium high and medium low, and at two different time points. Okay, 10 hours and 20 hours. Okay, he have performed and he have performed the study, and I have seen the growth rate. If you see the growth rate, it is something like this. In a run one, he has taken low, medium, and performed the study at lowest time. So growth rate that he has observed is 17%. And in run two, he has taken high amount of the medium and performed the study at a low level of time, and the observed growth rate is 15%. As such, if you see, he has performed four studies. You can see here clearly, even the medium is at its lowest, and at its highest. There is a negative effect. In fact, there is no positive effect. But if you increase the time from lower to higher, you can see here very clearly, the growth rate is very higher, very higher, very significant difference is there. That is itself telling that the time is showing significant effect. And even though the medium is increased from the lowest level to highest level, there is no use. That is what you have to understand. Okay, if you substitute the values here, as I told you, we have to take highest levels in the first portion. So 15 plus 13, 39, because you wanted to see the medium effect. So highest medium is taken in the run 2 and the run 4. So obviously the corresponding responses need to be considered. So 15 plus 39 are the corresponding responses when you are taken the medium at its highest concentration. And uh, we are subtracting the time effect from this one. Okay, time also showing effect on the growth rate, so we are subtracting those factors here. So here we have to see we have to see uh, we have to consider this run 1 and run 3, and subtracted the corresponding growth rates from the high level of medium. So the difference that you have observed is very low, and also it is a negative effect. And if you see the time effect, the highest level of time is used yet run at run 3 and run 4. At run 3 and run 4, you can see the highest timings. So we are subtracting uh, the medium effects from this one. So the medium effects are can be seen from run 1 and run 3. So we are just run 1 and run 2, I'm sorry. So we are just subtracting these medium effects from this time effect. So the value that you get is 22.5. So we can see clearly, okay, there is a very significant effect of the time. But to what extent, whether it is statistically significant or not, in order to understand that, you have to perform the ANOVA. Here in this case, we have done some ANOVA test to understand which factor is showing significant effect. You can clearly see the p values here. If you see the p values, we can conclude that factor A is not statistically significant at a 5% level of significance. Since the p-value is greater than the 5%, here you can see the factor A 79%. That means that the probability is very higher. That means that the probability to make an error is very higher. Say for example, if you see the factor B, the probability is less than 0.5%. That means that I'm sorry, probability is less than 5%. Okay, that means that the obtained results are clearly because of the factor B. It is not because of the chance. If the chance is very high, obviously, the error rate will be very higher. So here we can tell that the factor B is having very significant effect. In my next class, I will explain about effect of different interactions.